Go ahead.
Hey, it's a Scotch Test Dummies. We got Glenrothes Bourbon Cask Reserve. Bart still under the weather?
A little bit.
Let's test it.
Test it!
It's weak.
Very.
Let's test it.
Test it.
All right, Glenrothes Bourbon Cask Reserve, new Star Wars shirt.
That's right. Wife got me that for Christmas.
What was the one you got a couple years ago, but it like looked glittery or something? It's supposed to be the stars, but then it kind of looked.
Yeah, it looks like you got stuff on it.
Yeah,
you were always.
You still wear it?
And it's a little bit. It feels like there's like you. It feels like the popcorn's falling off of the ceiling onto your shirt. That's what it feels. I've even worn it out. Someone's like something on your shirt, and I'm like, well, I just wanted you to touch me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it feels dirty. But yeah, it's supposed to be stars. So,
Scotch God shout out real quick.
Do it.
We recently did a live stream with It's Bourbon Night.
Right.
Another YouTube review channel. If you don't know them, I'm sure you do. If you don't know them, go check them out.
Bourbon experts.
Great show.
Yeah. It's very,
Chad and Sarah.
We broke records for viewers.
Yeah, we did.
160.
Well, our records.
Right, our records. Not like
internet.
Yeah, we
YouTube
were better
records.
than PewDiePie.
So anyway, on a comment to that channel, and what happened was Chad and Sarah, bourbon.
Right.
Bourbon
experts.
And
with some rye on occasion.
They've never reviewed a Scotch. They haven't even had a Scotch. They had years ago.
Yeah.
They didn't know if they were going to like it. So when we did the live stream, we did a Michter's 10-year-old single barrel bourbon. And also asked them, I said, hey, would you want to try a Scotch? Maybe dip your toes in the water.
Yeah, a little dipping.
And they said, well, a lot of fans have been telling us to kind of go that route. Why don't we take a look?
Right. But
so budget kind of came into play.
Yeah, they wanted to go in with a really, no problem with that, but with a tight budget.
Yeah. So what's a good entry Scotch below $30 mainly is what we were looking for.
Right. It's a little tough.
They were at the store. We settled on Highland Park Magnus.
Yeah.
Okay. And they got it for $28.
That's a good price.
We did the review on the live stream with him and stuff. Some comments come in, some recommendations afterwards. But Matt Good, he comments.
He's good.
He is good.
He's a good man.
Great video. I do love the Michter's 10-year bourbon. For a starter Scotch, I would have gone to Glenmorangie La Santa. That was outside of our price range.
Right.
Glenrothes Bourbon Cask Reserve, he says.
Good call.
Still outside of our price range. Or Aberlour 12. All good choices. All outside of the price range, unfortunately.
Right. You'd kicked around I think you'd suggest maybe a Deanston, which came in a little closer to their price range as well.
I did not think of the Deanston Virgin Oak.
All right.
Yeah, that come up later.
Got it.
And that would have been a
great one, too.
And that one could have been outside the $30 price range.
Might have been. Yeah. They're in Kentucky, right?
Yes.
So they get their bourbon at great prices, I think.
Hopefully. They should. Yeah.
All the Heaven Hill products alone worth $10. You got a good bottle right there. It's like $10. That's crazy.
The 6-year bottled in bond.
Yeah.
Well, and they were Sarah was talking about there's one cheaper.
Oh.
That was like the 6-year bottled in bond white label is like $11 or $12 a bottle, but there's one that was like $8 a bottle that they said was outstanding too.
Which we hadn't had because you can only get it in Kentucky.
That might not be a bottle, or maybe it's a 4-year bottled in bond.
Could be. Yeah,
but,
that's interesting.
Yeah, they're Kentucky only.
So the point is, this would have been a great one for them to try as well.
Yeah.
Because here's what I did learn from that, though, on that show. And it's a little bit longer because they were great on the show. They were great, so we went long. But it stunned me how much they got out of that Highland Park. I mean, they picked up smoke, and I'm like, what? But I'm such a peat head. I'm like, and he was like, oh, smoky. I'm like, what are you talking about? There ain't no smoking that. But there is. But just, if anything, my peat headedness has destroyed my ability to pick up faintness of peat. And so it was really interesting seeing what they were experiencing and what they were considering the strengths of that Highland Park. So that was eye-opening to me. And it even came up, like when we suggested top 10 or top 5 bourbons for beginners, I had picked the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Bottle of Wow, and I took some heat for that. But I'm like, this is even before Whiskey Advocate named it its #1. But I'd said, you know what, this is one of the best bourbons out there. And there's so many people that try a bourbon once and they pick something not that good and they never come back. But you'd mentioned, a lot of fans mentioned, yeah, but you're going to kill them with that with that barrel proof. And I was like, mate, well, and I think here's what's interesting on our journey. We're getting so far down the journey that we have crossed some plateaus a couple times. I mean, we're definitely not noobs.
No.
You know, I had a guy break out that on the comments, I can't remember which one, he said, hey, he was watching an old show before we knew what the straight bourbon legal rules were. And he goes, hey, straight bourbon for you dummies has to be 3 years and 51% corn. I'm like, au contraire. 2. 3 years Scotch, malted barley, 2 years, 51% corn. And then he was like, I don't think so. I'm like, okay. I mean, I wasn't going to argue with him, but I'm like, and I thought, wow, we've crossed a plateau. Continue on. I probably don't have much voice left as it is. You're looking at me in amazement. It's the whiskey. What do you got on the nose?
So we went from Glenrothes and the suggestion of a starter Scotch into Elijah Craig Barrel Proof as a bourbon.
It's a good place to go.
And then the age restrictions on bourbons.
Love it. It's our journey. It's our whiskey journey, our whiskey quest.
Now, this is a sponsored review, along with the other Glenrothes.
Sure.
This one was sent with the Sherry Cask Reserve and the Vintage Cask Reserve.
From Edrington Group.
Uh-huh.
And but we always retain full editorial control. And someone had brought up, I had someone bring up that they thought every bottle we get is sent from the distilleries.
That we're getting all of our bottles are supplied to us.
No. What are we getting, 10%?
Maybe. We always say, though, if a bottle is sent to us, we always say it.
Yeah.
If we don't, we're always talking about if you bought it or if I bought it, how much it was.
If it's sent, we'll declare it. We retain all full editorial control. And one of the main reasons we probably won't ever move away from that is there's some bottles we can't get in Kansas. There's some stuff that fans have even sent us. The McCarthy's, which is a great Oregon single malt. We can't even find it. What, did I go too far? I went into the McCarthy's now? That's a good one.
It is a good one.
All right, we'll come back in. I'm just saying. We get, so.
He's on cold medicine.
I am. And coffee.
The nose on the Glenrothes ex-bourbon cask. Very light. I get a lemongrass, vanilla, tropical fruits. Almost like a juicy fruit or a tangerine.
Concur.
Your nose is probably plugged up.
No, still got the left nostril open.
If
a little bit of the right.
If you are a little bit congested, I don't know if this one is going to be one to punch through.
No, because it's very faint.
Yeah.
It's featherly. I can get it. I get hints of the oak. Does it say? Is it refill casks that they've got it in? Because the oak's very light in this one.
It is a Bourbon Cask Reserve.
Okay, that's right.
That's all it says. Now, I guess on the front it does say coconut and vanilla, rich and sweet.
Oh.
Which go along with some of my tropical notes and the vanilla lemongrass that I was getting.
I can see a little of the coconut, kind of like the coconut milk.
It's bottled at 40% ABV as well. The other Glenrothes is that we have bottled at the same ABV. Well, one exception.
Yeah.
We did have the state of Kansas single barrel, which was a sherry from an ex sherry cask, was delicious, and that's
good pick by
around
Adam.
60% ABV.
It was nice having one a little bit more powerful too. It was nice. I hope they do some more of that. I mean, I know that's a state allocation thing.
I'll throw that in here with this one. That one, keep in mind, is a 14-year-old as well. It had the distilled date and the bottled date on it. It was 14 years old, 60%, and that bottle is going for $80 in our area.
That was a steal.
Yes. I bought it back up.
You're a smart man. You see any more? Let me know.
We're still one at Auburn.
I might need to get it. Because the second, we're going to have what's called the dummy effect, and they'll be like, run out and get it.
Pour me a little,
All right.
another little shot in there.
They'll be like, go get it.
The taste, palate, smooth vanilla, a little bit of the oak,
Yeah.
caramel, honey, a little bit of maltiness, and a slight tobacco leaf.
Yeah. I get the malted grain. Definitely the vanilla cream. I think the chupacabra attacked me. I got like a chupacabra hair. Yeah. She tends to do that.
With time, as this sat out, I got a cane sugar, a powdered cane sugar.
It's got a little bit of the dry astringency to it. Mid palate. Don't you get the dryness on your cheek? Really, right on the side, I get a dryness, that astringency. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just part of that.
Yeah, okay. A slight one.
A little bit of cotton balliness.
A lot of vanilla cream. A little bit of that coconut that they point out.
Yeah.
Still a little bit of the tropical fruits, a juicy fruit almost, or a tangerine, mango type.
Right. Leans toward the fruity and the citrus, and it's on the subtle side. It's very subtle.
Powdered sugar. Go ahead and add a drop of water.
Good call. I'll take some too.
You should have your own water dropper over there. So
I didn't want to touch it. That's why.
Germs.
That's why I figured I'd let you touch it.
The dropper.
Right. That should be clear. The
$198.
The dropper. $199.
You wanted me to touch the dropper.
I'm glad you mentioned dropper.
That is not code for anything.
No code. No code.
A drop of water, I'll point out, doesn't harm it. I'd be afraid to go too much more.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. Does it open it up, though? I don't feel it opening it up either. I would drink this neat. Yeah. I'm a little cautious coming in at 40% anyway, but I'm always curious. Add that water, see if it opens it up, see if it changes it, does it transition. I don't think the water adds anything to it. I would drink this neat. A little bit of that grain just popped in for me again.
Yeah. I don't think you saw my score, did you?
I didn't. $87. What do you have?
88.
88.
Right there.
Wow.
Yep.
Good. If you want those grain, lighter, subtler vanillas and the creams, this is in your wheelhouse. This would have been a good one for bourbon night to try out. So, because the
if their budget
softer,
would allow.
Sure. Yeah, if their budget would allow, the palate's softer. It's still got some transitions. It is very bourbon friendly. I think they would have appreciated some of those creams that are in there. The citrus would have been probably something that would have been interesting to them, I think. So that would have been, this would be great to bring over somebody that's trying Scotch for the first time. So I would agree.
Now, since it was sent to us, do we want to talk, is it worth it? I know I looked online and price range is $50 on this.
Yeah, that's where I would expect it to hit. I do wish, I will say again, I wish the ABV was up a little bit. I think they would be really doing well at a 43. The 40s always get me a little concerned just because they can come in a little bit watery. 43s where I like to see the basement on ABVs. 46s are beautiful. And that one we have, what was the ABV again?
This is around 60, if not a little higher.
Unbelievably good. I mean, and that, if anything, that other one I've had from them has caused me more to say, hey, wow, that your other one, the Kansas allocation one, was so good at such a high ABV. Bring me more of that, more, and up that ABV. But that's it. That's all I'm saying on that one. So you got a
well, I just got to thinking because I remembered when we did this review on Instagram, I put up a picture of the thumbnail from the video, which had the 2 bottles of Glenrothes on it, and I just remembered it. Maybe we edit just a clip here while I look for it.
Okay, well, we're doing good. You could have found it while I was rambling on earlier.
Well, that's true. I could have found a lot of stuff.
We could
have found the Titanic in that time.
Well, that's been found. Maybe a lost U-boat. You could do that. Oh, that's a good pick.
Well, Scotch Mint. I'll have to send you this picture.
Yeah.
And this isn't really a traveling dummy shout out.
Okay, so it's not really a traveling dummy.
Scotch Mint is ScotchMinizz.
Wow.
Scotch Mint on Instagram. He tweeted, he said, "If you need any other Glenrothes, let me know."
Ooh.
So I went to his feed to find out.
Holy moly.
And here's a picture. We'll throw it in here of his.
Are you folks
this
looking
is his
at this?
Glenrothes collection.
Oh my God.
He's a Glenrothes fan.
Yeah, rabbit. Look at that. That's a sight to behold.
And I think there's even more. That's like off to the side.
Wow. Boy.
He's a Glenrothes fan.
Yeah. We need to look at that. Those are all his pictures there?
Yeah.
He's got pictures where he's spelling out things with bottles. But that's unbelievable. That's a nice display. I will say I love their bottle display just from aesthetics. Just the feel, the look of it. It kind of feels, I don't know, old world. It feels piratey, if that makes sense. I feel like you could find this back in the 1860s or something. That is. I'm looking at this one picture.
Display. There's probably close to 70 different bottles of Glenrothes.
What's he got on the top there?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Some kind of labeled.
Tullibardines.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a fan of that too. Goodness. That guy's
Scotch
got a collection.
Let's just make that the traveling.
That should be. Look at that. When we're trying that, that's a fan there, man.
I'll have to send you that picture.
Yeah, send that. That's a guy you want buying your whiskey there. He's buying everything you got. Well, that tells me the depth of what Glenrothes has out there, too.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, that is highly, highly impressive. Those are all look like unique individual bottles. Even the color's changing on several of them. So that's impressive.
All right. We have some Patreon shout-outs to do real quick. We've picked up, this has been a good new year so far.
Great new year. I think Roy had a lot to do with that.
Roy did help us out, I think.
Yeah, Roy.
Aquavitae
talked about the value of supporting the show. So the show is always going to be free. We're not ever going to charge anything for it. But he mentioned he was watching so much of the Dummies on YouTube. Sorry. Well, he was. It was mostly Dummies. He watches other shows as well.
Yeah.
And he says he was paying, $9.99 for Netflix and whatever other subscriptions he has. And he says, he was preferring to watch YouTubers over that. So he decided to go out and support those shows that he had value in. So if you find value in what we bring, you can go to patreon.com. You can find us under Scotch Test Dummies. You can donate $1 a show. And what was the method you talked about that you can even go set your max? So you could set your max at $1 a month, $4 a month.
Once the first screen on Patreon, you can put in you want to support us for $1 an episode, $2 an episode, $3 an episode, whatever you want to put in there.
Right.
Once you click continue, then it takes you to another screen where it will show you $1 per episode, and then it'll have another box with a max amount per month.
Got it. Which is good because usually we do between 8 and 12 shows a month.
Yeah.
On average.
Probably minimum is 8, and just live shows or other extra reviews that we throw in. Now our quick hitters we're not on Patreon.
Yeah, we don't put our quick hitters up. But so if you did $1 per show and we did 12 shows and you didn't set a max, that would be $12 for the month. But you could come in and say, hey, I want to do $1 a show, but I want to cap it at $6. The second you hit your $6, it doesn't take any more from you. So you guys have complete control over that. So we get a lot of people actually asking us, saying, hey, man, I want to do it per month. Well, you can do it per month.
You can also come in at any time and you can raise it or you can lower it. We've got guys that have had to lower it. A couple guys had to lower what they were contributing here recently. And a couple guys that have boosted what they were given.
A couple guys what? I missed the last part.
Boosted. Yep.
I love that.
$1. $1.
We did have that. We killed the show, and we knew we killed it. We were like, we killed that. Boom. Patreon supporter came on and was like, you guys killed that. Bumped you up. I just gave you more money. I was like, woo, that was a good show. We killed it. You almost took your shirt off.
I don't even know which one you're talking about.
I'm kind of making up the shirt thing, but we did have a fan because I see the messages come in from Patreon said, I just boosted my pledge. You guys killed it. It might have been Roy's live show. The live show we did on New Year's. Anything else you want to add in? We got some merch. Go to the website, scotchescomers.com.
Yeah, we have to do the Patreon.
Yeah. Somehow I got confused.
Yeah.
It's the cold medicine.
Three new $1 supporters. Keith, Malted Man Cave.
Love the malted.
He came in and supported us. Thank you, Keith.
It's like a giant bear of a man.
Fletch you. Like Fletch movie Fletch.
Love
Chevy
that.
Chase.
Oh, it was great. He was a spy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funny spy.
No, he wasn't. That's the spy who loved me, isn't it? Or Spies Like Us.
Could be.
Fletch, he was the newspaper reporter
Dang it. Didn't he end up in Iraq or something?
in Spies Like Us.
Dang it. See, I'm definitely thinking Spies Like Us.
Fletch you, though. Thank you, Fletch. Fletch you. And Rombout.
Ooh, love the bout.
Yep. Rombout Mastenbrook.
Yeah.
And
love the bout.
He's in the Netherlands, I believe, right?
I think I can't say for sure, but I remember he used to watch or listen to us on the train while he commutes.
Yeah.
I believe is what he said.
Yeah, he still does.
Good. That's a good time. Yeah, I want to know the people sitting next to him, just see him chuckling, laughing, be like, what's that guy doing? Whatever he's doing, I want to do it too. I want to be a dummy. So you can be a dummy too. Go to Patreon, support us. Show's always free. But if you want to be a super Scotch god, join us. And we do some special things for the Patreon supporters. It did. So
and we're talking about, we're sitting at 59 patrons right now.
Right.
60?
Right.
If we were to hit 100 patrons this year, maybe we'd do something crazy.
I like the way.
Maybe that's the Ghost Pepper Challenge.
That was painful.
Or the habanero. Maybe we do a live stream habanero.
I would do it if we had 100 patrons.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know. That was painful. We did. Go check that old show out. We'd have to do that right near the end of the show because it wrecked our palate.
Yeah.
Habaneros will tend to do that. That would be funny.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to do that again. Scotch it. You Scotch god.
Cilantro. Dummies.